Stay ahead of the curve and get updates on the latest trends in politics, government, policies, education, economy, social development, amongst others.
We're happy to announce today that both the federal government and the organized labor have agreed on an increase on the 62,000 naira minimum wage.
Join
Ayodeji Ajishokwe
and
Adedamola Lafenwa
on from the Dailies every weekday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Solutions 93.9 FM as they dive into the headlines with in-depth analysis and feedback from you on different stories from the national dailies. Start your day by gaining fresh perspectives, uncovering the story behind the story, and join the conversation. Because your voice matters. From the dailies, the conversation never stops.
You're wondering what you were listening to. Well, that was the drama that played out at the Wadata Plaza in Abuja, the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party. Yesterday, what some people like to call the Clash of the Titans, when two big factions of the PDP met for parallel meetings yesterday. My name is Adedemola Lafenwa, and the program is from the Dailies on Solutions 93.9 FM, where we get to take you through the front page stories of different newspapers. And I have Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe, who is also live in the studio with me this beautiful morning. Good morning to you, Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe.
Yes, good morning to you, my dear comrade brother. That's live. That was live from Abuja yesterday. The Clash of the Titans.
The Clash of the Titans.
Good morning to you, our viewers and listeners.
Okay, all right. Talking about the Clash of the Titans yesterday, as the account being put by different newspapers this morning on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. It says PDP's day of tear gas, chaos. And looking at the riders, Makinde, Bala Muhammad, Wike, Anyanwu, others clash over Wadata Plaza. Day is about to break for a new PDP and for our democracy. Makinde, enough is enough. PDP does not belong to one person, Bala. New party leadership thanks Nigerians for supporting democracy. Wike-backed faction expels Turaki. Muhammad, Makinde, Bode George, others. Now, the group of people that were expelled over the weekend and the convention are now expelling those that expelled them.
Meanwhile, they were saying that the expulsion was illegal.
Yes.
So why, if the expulsion was illegal, so why don't you just stay on your lane?
But now the expelled have now expelled those that expelled them.
I don't think they ever expected the convention to go to that extreme.
They never expected it.
That one caught them by surprise.
Okay, looking at the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, this is talking about the abducted schoolgirls in Kebbi State at the school there, Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Maga, Kebbi State. Now, Kebbi school children's abduction. How my husband was killed. Wife of slain vice principal. And the writer, UNICEF First Lady condemn attack. Demand students release. And still talking about education here, again, ASU accuses FG of non-readiness to meet demands, threatens fresh nationwide strike. The story is found on page 21 of the Nigerian Tribune. Now the Christian genocide allegation is in the news this morning. It says Christians facing genocide in northern Nigeria, Middle Belt, can break silence. Okay, moving away. Okay, before I move away from that particular newspaper, you can see the picture of tear gas in the air at the Wadata Plaza, the National Secretariat of the PDP yesterday. Moving away from that now, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, I can see pictures of the ugly incident that occurred at the Watata Plaza yesterday
with so much tear gas in the air.
With so much tear gas in the air. There was a particular clip I saw our governor, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, wiping tears from his eyes as a result of the tear gas, and I saw Governor Bala Mohammed too also wiping water from their eyes.
They were leading their own troops.
They were leading their own troops. I mean, it was an interesting thing to watch.
You know the interesting part was that I saw Nigeria police versus Nigeria police.
I'm still coming. I'll paint a graphic picture of what happened to our listeners this morning. Now, looking at the front page of the Punch, ICE takes face off. PDP governors resist Wike secretariat takeover. Chaos as police tear gas PDP chieftains. Makinde, Bala, Turaki, Wike clash. And another one, the biggest story on the front page of the Punch newspaper, it says Kebbi school kidnap. Survivors relieve night of horror. And the rider, hostel staff, slain VP's family. Others share chilling accounts. Parents weep. Senate probes 145 billion naira safe schools fund. Tinubu gets DSS cleared ambassadorial list. Okay, let's keep our fingers crossed on that. UN discourse, US envoy Nicki Minaj decry killings in Nigeria. Tinubu heads to South Africa, Angola for G20 EU summit. Another sad one here, missing FRSC officer, daughter feared killed by Osun herbalist. Moving away from the Punch newspaper now because of our time, let me quickly go through the front page of the Guardian newspaper. House in rowdy session over INEX powers to monitor party activities. UN world. They're
taking that's a fallout of Ibadan Convention.
Fallout of Ibadan Convention, yeah, definitely. UN world leaders demand faster action on Paris agreement. ASU reject FG's proposed salary increment.
35% since 2009.
Okay. Fears of one party drift intensify as PDP crisis worsens, turns violent. And again, the pictures of what transpired at the Wadata Plaza, the National Secretariat of the PDP yesterday. You can see the pictures. I can see Sam Anyanwu there addressing a staff reporter and many people there. I mean, people running helter-skelter. Okay, Biafra lobby network feeling Christian genocide campaign in US. That's another dimension, another twist to that story. Now, Kebbi school abduction sets off military push, political backlash, regional alarms. Okay, let me see if I can still go through another paper. Okay, let me look at the Vanguard newspaper before we go into the analysis. Okay, PDP leadership tussle, Wike governors clash as police fire tear gas. And looking at the riders, Turaki, Muhammad seek international help to save opposition. Wike stays in his vehicle as police rain tear gas. Turaki postpones PDP NWC meeting to today, says Nigeria's democracy in grave danger.
So the drama continues today.
The drama continues today. It's a season film, action film. We are yet to see the end of this. Okay, Shetima heads to Kebbi as Tinubu vows rescue of kidnapped students. It's been 48 hours now. These girls are
Yes, it's
still
been
missing.
48 hours.
And we've been hearing promises.
In fact, the chief of army staff came out and gave specific orders. And he said, success is not an option.
Meaning?
That the only option available is success itself.
Okay, time will tell. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Those girls have been away from their families and loved ones for the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
And nothing has been heard till now
And the thing about
of their whereabouts.
well, this is a security matter. They won't be telling us blow by blow at
They
hand.
Nigerians don't want them to tell us what they are doing.
Yeah.
All we want to see is results. I
So-
mean, imagine the situation, the pains of the agonies of the parents and the loved ones of these young
And
girls.
this raises questions
young school
about
girls being
so-
taken away forcefully in the middle of the night.
Yes.
By unknown people.
safe school initiative that
With so
started
much
on
money that was pumped into that.
450 billion. So, and when you hear, even the president said there was intelligence. Even the president said that there was intelligence prior to the attack. So, would there be consequences?
Okay. All right. Let's start with what played out at the Wadata Plaza yesterday. Okay. According to the report, as early as 7 a.m. yesterday, I mean, we read it that there were going to be parallel meetings at the Wadata Plaza yesterday. As early as 7 a.m., the Sam Anyanwu faction of the PDP had already occupied the secretariat. As a matter of fact, after Sam Anyanwu addressed the press, saying that the convention that took place in Ibadan was nothing but a Christmas carol service, they started their own BOT meeting. While doing their BOT meeting, the Governor Seyi Makinde and Governor Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State faction came into the to the premises. We're trying to gain entrance to the premises with the new PDP chairman, Turaki.
At least two governors were there.
Two governors were there with the new chairman of the PDP. Now, interestingly, looking at the clip, there were police officers mounting the gate, preventing Governor Seyi Makinde and his entourage entrance into the place. It now became a clash of police force against police force. Some police within were pushing the gate. Eventually, the police outside were able to gain entrance forcefully.
Those guys are governors. So
Governors
they can-
and they
can bring in their own
they
security.
brought in their own
police.
security.
Uh-huh.
They apparently overpowered the police within. They took over the secretariat, beat out those that were already occupying the plaza. It became so chaos, the atmosphere became so chaos that tear gas started going here and there. But eventually, when everything settled, the Bala Muhammad faction were able to gain entrance into the premises. But Bala Muhammad had this to say because he addressed the press when they entered the office of the secretariat yesterday. Let's take a listen at what he said.
By INEC.
Yes, he is. He is recognized by INEC because it's a legal issue. You should report what is on the ground. It's a creation of one man called Wike, who thinks that he can continue to pollute the political space by showing gangarism, animism, and hooliganism and charlatanism. And by so doing, he is not helping even the present administration.
Sir,
Excuse me, madam, let me talk. You have asked me a question. You don't want me to say things. Then you can go. I'm talking about what is causing all this. We should go by the rule. Arrogance and impunity. You see, we were going, the access to go, they will go, but the police are sneaking people in. This is our secretariat. If they want to say they have a so-called faction, they should go somewhere. All the governors are here. all the senators, all the members of the House of Reps. Why is the media backing them as if they have something in common with us? The police should know that this is not a faction. It is just a splinter group. They want to scuttle and destroy PDP, destroy the opposition, and by so doing, destroy democracy in Nigeria.
So the question I was going to ask you is that the other group are insisting that as it stands now, Senator Tanimu Turaki's name is not with INEC. Barrister Tanimu Turaki's name is not with INEC.
That is their own feeling because they are illiterates. They are driven by arrogance and illiteracy and impunity, by impulse. They believe whatever their bosses in media press, that is what it goes even into their narration. We are driven by law and by system. So Tanimu Turaki, after the convention, there is a report. We have already sent all the reports to INEC. INEC is not obliged or forced to attend any convention of any political party. Have you ever seen APC doing any convention? Did you ask them? But they have leaders and they are recognized by INEC. Why must you be the only person that you assess? Please, sir, you should be able to be fair.
Yes, sir. Sir, I mean, just one question, sir. You were at that convention on Saturday, and there were challenges. Nigerians were worried that they did not see INEC monitor the processes of that election. Can you speak to us about that?
Yes. The Constitution does not force them to be there, but we must give them notice. We gave them notice and they accepted and acknowledged. We have the acknowledgement that they got the notice. If they decide not to come, that is their own free volition. But certainly we have documents that we have notified them duly and they accepted.
Okay. So
the convention is legal because all the court orders have been set aside by the appellant courts, because we have already made a plea and it has been put aside. So people should know the process of our legal system.
So where do you see this ending? Should the wicked group not back down and you are not backing down? Where do you see this ending?
No, they are just being supported and then by the police, and you, the media too. You don't tell them the truth, but they should know that it has come to an end. That's an end of hooliganism. You know, they should go and leave us alone. Must we be with us? This man, why is he working? Is he not working with APC? Why didn't you ask him? Is it moral for him to say that he will be in APC to destroy us?
The vintage Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State there,
Yes.
addressing the press after
yes.
gaining entrance into the secretariat of the PDP. But it didn't end there. Even the new national chairman of the PDP, Tanimu Turaki, SAN, also addressed the press on what really played out at Wadata Plaza yesterday. Let's take a listen.
Your Excellencies, other distinguished leaders of PDP, I want to thank all of you for your resilience, for your courage, for your resoluteness in this struggle to take over our party, our property, and in doing so to save democracy. For the past 7 hours, Nigerians are living witnesses to the struggle we've been engaged in with those renegade members of our party that were expelled in our national convention in Ibadan. They came here with armed talks like we did predicted to disrupt our meetings. But God so kind, we were able to contain them effectively. Now we have driven them out of the secretariat, and as you can see, I have entered my office. I have assumed leadership as the elected national chairman. So this struggle, no doubt, is a continuing one. Yes. We will continue, we will remain relentless, we should continue to fight. But I want to call on the president. If there's anybody that wants peace in any given society, it should be the leadership. The president should call his minister to order. The kind of conduct that the minister of the FCT had gotten himself engaged in this morning, leading to this afternoon, is unbecoming. How can a serving minister lead talks to come and disrupt a legally arranged meeting? The meeting, in respect of it, more notices have been given to the police and other security agencies. If we have not exercised restraint, if we have not controlled our members and our leaders, there will have been bloodshed here. We will have been tear gassed, And I think more than 50 canisters of tear gas had been shot at us. But we remain relentless. I will continue to remain relentless. So I call on all members of PDP all over this country to know that this is what is happening. And should this continue, I would not hesitate to call all members of PDP in Nigeria to assemble here. If they are going to kill us, let them kill. So I want to call once again on the international community. You've seen what is happening. You've seen what is happening. You've seen the attempts that is now openly being made to destroy and stifle democracy. We will defend democracy. We shall continue to act as the vanguards of democracy. And like I've said, we are prepared to lay down our lives for the purpose of watering and nurturing this nascent democracy that our forefathers had fought arduously to give us. I will therefore want to commend the resilience of our members. I want to thank our leaders for refusing to be provoked in spite of the high amount of provocation. This shows that we in PDP were peace-loving people and will continue to be peace-loving and law-abiding. But that does not mean that if we've seen that people are going to touch us, are going to touch our integrity, they are going to touch our lives, that we will not hesitate to take advantage of the constitutional right that we have.
Okay, the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, that is Barrister Kabiru Tanimu Turaki, SAN, speaking, addressing the press right after taking over the premises of the National Secretariat of the PDP yesterday. And he made allegations against the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, saying that his actions are becoming unbecoming. Wike was at the premises yesterday too, but he wasn't allowed to leave his vehicle because they mounted pressure and stopped him from gaining entrance. So the question now is, what is the interest of Nyesom Wike?
He has expressed his interest. He said he wants to see that his boss, President Tinubu, gets a second term. And he has to pave the way for him.
Which automatically means he doesn't want the PDP to have a candidate.
Oh, that would be the best scenario. Rather than have a candidate who frustrates everything, disrupt everything.
If his plan, if those are his plans now, why does he have followers in that PDP? What is their interest? Are they trying to pull down the PDP or what?
No, those ones that are working with Wike are pursuing their own interest. They see that they have concluded that if they work together with Wike, they will be able to, ensure that Wike's desires
are met.
And of course,
there will
be benefits
for them.
Yes.
Now, the Wike faction, Wike was expelled, Ayodele Fayose was expelled, a lot of PDP members were expelled on Saturday. Dramatically, we heard that this same expelled group of people have decided to expel the people that expelled them.
Yes. You see, when it started, it was a battle against Atiku. You understand? That it was the turn of the South. The North had done its own, as they say, turn by turn, Nigeria. So it was the turn of the South. And for breaching that, some people stood up on principle, led by Wike, who incidentally had lost out. You understand? So that was enough reason for them to say, this is our position. And that position was achieved when Atiku lost. Not that it's not an issue of when Tinubu won. They secured that victory. They made a statement, an emphatic statement. They staked everything. Oyo State governor staked even his own gubernatorial re-election and all of that on principle. So when that goal was achieved, you understand? That goal had been achieved. But now, Wike is extending the run to a second term now.
Okay.
Against his own party now. It was against, we could say it was against Atiku of his party. You understand? He was doing it then against Atiku of his party. or doing it against the position of his party to support the candidature of Atiku. So, but now, what are you doing? You are now doing it against your party.
Because one will wonder...
And I think these people are saying, enough is enough.
Because one will wonder what could have caused a rift between Nyesom Wike and the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, who used to be very close friends.
Yes, I think...
And there was a reporter that asked our governor, the Governor Seyi Makinde, on that both Seyi Makinde and Wike were both in the G5 group of the governors then. What went wrong? Let's take a listen at what Engineer Seyi Makinde had to say concerning that.
City Minister Nyesom Wike was your friend. You people were in the G5 in the last election. What exactly would have happened?
Well,
What changed?
Hold on. Small minds talk about people. Average mind talks about events. We will rather talk about issues. What's the issue? The issue is we don't believe in a one-party Nigeria. We believe that our founding fathers, they gave us a multi-party democracy. We must sustain it so that Nigerians can have options when they are choosing their leaders. That is the issue. I don't want to talk about individuals, and I don't want to talk about events. That's the issue.
Thank you so much.
Engineer Seyi Makinde there, Oyo State Governor, addressing a reporter on the rift between him and Nyesom Wike, who used to be close allies there.
And he said the issue, just like I was explaining before, you know, that was an agenda which was pursued on principles. You could even put it in quote, but it was a principled stand. When that objective was now achieved, then it's now like Wike is extending the run of play. You know, there's injury time. Against the run, against the rules of the game. And I think people are saying, look, enough is enough. Let's think about the party now. You understand? But Wike is pursuing his, because he has a key element. You know, he had the chairman. He had what do you call him? He had a secretary. He knows the importance of all these things. So, interestingly, what I just found out is that the BOT, the NWC, a good part of the NWC, not the whole of the NWC, the governors, not all. Oshun is busy looking for platform to run on. So, the PDP is no longer viable. ADC, Aregbesola is the one in charge. APC is not available. So that one was not available, but he sent, I think, a delegation. The one who was chairman of the convention committee. But these are apparently the leaders, you know, who are attracting others. The governor of Oyo and Bala Mohammed. And that creates a political balance. There is a northerner, a vocal northerner. So I think the convergence of interest is no longer there.
Okay.
And they are saying they are standing on principle of preserving the party and ensure that there is. Why do you want to cripple other parties? And it is succeeding because the party is looking crippled. People are jumping off it.
Definitely.
And where are they jumping into? They're jumping into APC. Who is responsible for the crippling?
They have lost so many governors.
So who is
and even the Kefas too.
Yes, who is
getting said the governor of Taraba.
So who is responsible for crippling the party? It is Nyesom Wike. Somebody was telling me this morning that the expulsion of Nyesom Wike and all those people came a little too late.
A little too late, yeah. A little too late.
And I know that is your opinion too.
That has been my opinion too. Because I kept on wondering. I've asked on this platform many times that why are they still keeping Wike despite all his grievous anti-party activities?
Damola, you see,
someone will call a
Nigerian
press conference
politics
and say whether they like it or not is sticking by the re-election bid of Mr. President
Nigeria's politics
of the APC, and you still want to hold on to PDP's structures,
using it against itself. It doesn't
make sense. It doesn't make sense.
The party is crippled. except we're going to deceive ourselves.
Okay.
The party is crippled largely.
Okay. It's 3 minutes past 10. If you're just tuning in, you're running from the Dailies on Solutions 93.9 FM, looking at different stories on the front pages of different newspapers. Now, away from the PDP issue now, let's go to Kebbi State, where a group of young school girls, secondary school pupils to be precise, were kidnapped a few days ago from their hostel. And according to what we have on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, it says Kebbi school children's abduction, how my husband was killed. Wife of the vice principal who was killed during the attack. Let's take a listen at what the widow of the vice principal had to say, narrating the audio she went through.
What happened is that we were asleep around 3:30 a.m. when I heard movements behind our window. So I tried to wake my husband up to tell him that the animals are destroying our things outside. Before I knew it, there was a bang on our door and it was forcefully opened. So I tapped my husband to tell him that the animals have gotten into the house and they are really destroying our things. As soon as he got up, we realized they were not animals but robbers armed with guns. We started struggling with them. Then one of them pulled out his gun and shot my husband. And they dragged me by my hand outside the house. So I told them to leave me alone, that I will not go with them since they have killed the father of my children and they are asking the children to go in and sleep. I was still arguing with them when my daughter came out. Then they left me and went to her and took her with them, leading them to the hostel. Then they told her to lay down so they can shoot her too. So she told them I should lie down so that you can shoot me. They said yes. So she asked that they allow her go and ease herself. But then they opened the door and saw other girls and their attention was shifted from my girl. That was how she was able to escape into the bush. By the time she came back, it was already morning.
Now, that was the gory account of the widow of the slain vice principal of the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Maga, Kebbi State, where about 25 schoolgirls were abducted about 48 hours ago. And this is a repeat of the Chibok girl. We've had Chibok girls, we've had the Dapchi girls. Yeah. Now we have the Kebbi girls. And with what I read in a report that there was an intelligence report from the DSS saying that school was one of the schools that might likely be attacked by bandits. And troops were mounted at that particular school, Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School. I'm talking up from the account of a teacher now in that school. But the teacher said barely 30 minutes before the attack, the troops that had been on guard at that particular school left the vicinity of that school, were nowhere to be found. And with all this happening all the time, can we rule out conspiracy? Why will the troops, as alleged by one of the teachers of that school, that they left that school 30 minutes? They had been there for days. 30 minutes after they left the school, the attack came and 25 girls were taken away, killing the vice principal. But before you respond to that, let's take a listen at the account of one of the parents sharing his own audio too.
We were in the mosque performing our prayers when an imam from a big nearby mosque came in and informed us if we knew what was happening. He said bandits had invaded our community. That was when we understood the situation. I have 2 daughters in the school. When I got to the hostel, I saw my younger daughter. I asked her where Khadija was and she said the bandit had taken her away. My younger daughter and 3 others had hidden in one room. The bandit threatened to kill them if they didn't come out. 3 of them came out, but my younger daughter refused to leave, and the bandit took the other 3. That is how my older daughter escaped.
A sad account of a parent there. Now imagine the pains and agonies of this parent. 25 girls were taken, but the latest report we got was that out of the 25 there were they were taken. 2 of them escaped,
Yeah.
leaving 23 still in the captivity.
Yes, 2 of them escaped, according to the truth. And then there's another report that says that there was an engagement. I think the police now. There was an engagement between the police and the bandits or security agencies, but I think it was the police. And they were overpowered. The police even said these people had sophisticated
weapons.
And I asked myself, the police is saying bandits or terror groups have sophisticated weapons. That is a very serious one. Now, intelligence, according to the president, commander-in-chief, was available of an impending attack. Yet, this happened. The question is, if the president says there was intelligence in that regard, that's an indictment of the security agency. What did they do with the intelligence? Is it true that troops were actually stationed there and were withdrawn? 30 minutes.
Who gave the order
Who
for
gave the
them
order?
to be withdrawn? 30 minutes before that.
That person who gave the order that could override the subsisting order, you understand? Was the order given from above? At what level?
If the account of that teacher was true, how do we rule out conspiracy in all this? During the killings of the Plateau, the recent killings in Plateau and Benue too, we heard the same thing. There were intelligence reports.
Yes, even the chief of defense staff then said that they were misinformed. I said, wow, what happened to counterintelligence? What happened to counterintelligence? The essence, there's intelligence, there's counterintelligence. The essence of counterintelligence is to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of the adversary. You must know what the adversary is thinking and doing. I mean, you don't know what the adversary is doing. You don't know what the adversary is thinking. And they seem to understand and know what you are thinking and doing. Even this general that was slain a few days ago, what we're told is that his coordinates, his location was compromised. And let me tell you, and when they, withstood the first attack and retreated with some of his men, he spoke on his radio, and that the group had been splintered into 2. Or even other people were listening. All those who were on that platform,
Definitely.
They were listening. And he was talking about his location. So that information was going to be useful for the Air Force, you understand, to protect him while ground troops moving to physically rescue him. They needed his coordinates. He knew what to do. He fed that onto the platform. Apparently, that location was compromised by some people on the platform.
On that platform, yes.
And, I mean, what was the military intelligence doing? In the days of, what do you call him, President Jonathan, he said openly that Boko Haram was in his government. And American intelligence people said that they had met with Nigerian troops and they had picked the date and mode of attack. Suddenly, the next surveillance they saw that the Boko Haram people were wearing gas masks because they said they were going to gas them.
Yes. So they were wondering how they got the information ahead.
And look at that top-notch security level where information was leaking. I was reading a report. Yes, another Major General, yes, was retired. He was commanding
you were reading it on the phone now.
First Division. He said they had identified and arrested some people, financiers, the pipelines, and the people deep in government. He said rather than being commended, he was fired and even detained for 63 days. I mean, all of this in the public domain.
After arresting the top Boko Haram.
Yes, and identified these financiers and the conduit pipes and people deep inside government.
So his reward was to be removed from.
Yes, and it was. This thing is in open, and it said that we should put question mark on the death of Tahiru.
Now, when all this happened, it brings me back to the statement made by late General Sani Abacha some years ago, when he said that if insurgency thrives beyond 24 hours in any country, then the government of the day has a hand in it.
Damola,
Is it not looking like it now?
Damola, we have
For the like of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, then while in power, to
President
say
Commander-in-Chief.
Commander-in-Chief to openly say that there was Boko Haram in his cabinet.
So there's Boko Haram in the military. People who are compromising the military. But at the same time, you say counterintelligence. But if these people are high up, you can even identify them. But is that the political will? Is that the political will to deal with it?
Now, what happens to the safe school funds that we're talking about earlier ago? I mean, when we had the Chibok issue, the Chibok girls issue, the Dapti girls issue, a fund was raised to safeguard all the schools against such attacks. So, now, despite all the monies pumped into this fund, why are we having this again?
You know, it's the usual thing is a knee-jerk reaction. As soon as that challenge looks ameliorated, we take our eyes off it. We don't. These are things that should run in like automated. You understand? That problem still exists, and there must be provision for. And then oversight. Oversight is key. Oversight, and the work of the National Assembly is to oversight. The work of the state assemblies is to oversight. Are they doing that? Are they doing it? We hear money vote and we hear money missing. You understand? If you are doing oversight on a yearly basis, we look at this 1.12 trillion Anchor Borrowers Fund mismanagement. They were talking about 100 and something trillion missing. You understand? The National Assembly. I mean, these are unbelievable. They look like tales from and they are real. So how does all these things happen? How does all these times I've been saying they should probe NNPC, they should probe NNPC. Who will probe NNPC? NNPC will be probed by government. Who are the people taking the money from the NNPC? Somebody told me, a management president of NNPC told me that when Mele Kyari came and published the first financial report, people were saying, what is wrong with this one? That NNPC is government's piggy bank. That they will just dip their hands into it. That's why they cannot account for most of the money. They cannot account for it. Because they will just say, do this. And then you just say, yes, sir. Because you are under political authority. And they will just talk. When this guy was governor of Central Bank, he was donating money. He gave ABU 100 billion or something like that. All sorts of things like that. So accountability. Accountability. You must operate in a way that is transparent. And people should be able to ask questions. And you must answer as subject to the rules.
Okay, now that brings us to the Christians facing genocide in Nigeria. The issue that has been trending for weeks now. Looking at the account of the Vanguard newspaper, can insist there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. That's the account of the Vanguard newspaper, and the account of the Nigerian Tribune. Christians facing genocide in northern Nigeria, Middle Belt. Can president did say that, talking about Archbishop Daniel Oko, insisting that truly Christians are being killed. And there is this viral video that is just coming out recently. I saw it on Sahara Reporter last night of a CSC in Kwara State. I mean, I don't know if I can see the clip now. Let me just play a bit of what happened in that church. While the church service was going on, Facebook, streaming live on Facebook, a group of bandits entered the church and started shooting sporadically. Let's take a listen at what happened. Comrade, you could hear gunshots.
I
within
could
the
see one. I
church.
could
And
even
you
see
can
one
see,
of the
looking at the
bandits.
video, we're watching the video now. You can see the bandits running around the church with their rifles, shooting at people, and taking the belongings of the worshippers. And with all this, some people or government officials are still saying that there is nothing of such happening. You know, I was telling you and Dapo earlier ago that for U.S. President Donald Trump to be making such statement, for the U.S. Congress to be debating this issue, for the Canadian Congress to be debating the issue, definitely they must have seen some things. They must have heard, they must have been privy to some information, valid information, to say that truly there is genocidal killing of Christians in the country.
You see, I think it was here that I was telling Favor, I said, this narrative, if it gains traction, is going to be a very serious problem. Because there is this, it's a blanket narrative, genocidal killings of Christians in Nigeria. I mean, when you say, they are killing Christians in Nigeria, you understand? That's a blanket statement. We must have to say, in some parts of Nigeria.
Okay.
The question is this for me: who is killing who and why? People have been killed in. We must understand that these people are also killing Muslims. And what kind of Muslims are they killing? They are killing Muslims that they reference as apostate, who they don't think are Muslims by the brand of Islam that they practice. And they think they should be exterminated. They are not different from the infidels. Yes, they are not. I mean, if you are apostate, you are not practicing the purity.
You are an infidel.
You are an apostate. So the other ones are infidels. That is happening. And who are the people killing them? They are Muslims. And they are sometimes called, what do they call, Fulani militia. You understand? And these are Fulani militia have been branded as a terrorist organization by including Boko Haram. Look, in Kwara, they invaded a church. They couldn't say they didn't know it was a church. You understand?
The video is there
for
everyone to see.
So they couldn't know that, they couldn't say that they didn't know it was a church. You know, they came and shot at them and tried to kill them. And I think they succeeded killing about 3 or so people. They did not abduct. So, and they do such a thing. And I mean, what else do you call that? But I think the government was too embarrassed. And for the, what do you call it? The Islamic, Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs in Nigeria. You understand? Because it is now being presented.
The communique was read by
Professor. I mean, it is not a tidy. You can break it down that they are even killing Muslims. You understand? But we know that the Muslims that they are killing, they are the ones they reference as apostates, who are not true Muslims. And what are they doing? They are purifying the faith. You understand? They are preserving the pure. So, I mean, that makes it, there's no other way. I was listening to somebody, what is a genocide? Targeted are people, consistent and continuous, in clearly defined locations. You know, all these things, it ticks all the boxes.
What about the Christmas Day killing we've had in Nigeria in churches? We had the one church in Owo.
Yeah,
that's one too.
I mean, they went into a church.
They knew these attackers knew this where,
and the identity of the attackers are known as.
So there's no way we can do the narratives without being factual about the fact that there were times that churches
were directly attacked. And you see, genocide is genocide.
And people were killed in large numbers.
Yes, genocide is genocide. The only thing now is that a proviso has been added to it that it is Christian genocide. And it has ticked all the boxes. You understand? It has ticked all the boxes. That's just the issue. The full-scale probe has started in the U.S. Congress, And they had amassed evidence.
And Nicki Minaj, the rapper, American rapper. Nicki
Yes,
Minaj.
she was there.
Let's take a listen to a few minutes of what she had to say at that sitting.
Thank you, Ambassador Waltz, for this invitation. It is an honor to stand on this stage with you and the other distinguished speakers here today to shine a spotlight on the deadly threat faced by thousands of Christians in Nigeria. I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage in calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria, to combat extremism, and to bring a stop to violence against those who simply want to exercise their natural right to freedom of religion or belief. I stand here as a proud New Yorker with a deep sense of gratitude that we live in a country where we can freely and safely worship God regardless of one's creed, background, or politics. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion, like I recently stated on social media. And we don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. We're way beyond thinking or expecting or assuming for, the person sitting next to you to have the exact same beliefs. We're beyond that. That's ridiculous. But that shouldn't make one person feel less safe than anyone in any room. Music has taken me around the globe. I have seen how people, no matter their language, culture, or religion, come alive when they hear a song that touches their soul. Religious freedom means we all can sing our faith regardless of who we are, where we live, and what we believe. But today, faith is under attack in way too many places. In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart. And entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray.
American rapper Nicki Minaj addressing the U.S. Congress yesterday. We talked about the Khan's point of view on this issue too. Let me quickly read it. Khan insists there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. Let me see if I can read it. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has again raised the alarm over what it describes as a systematic and sustained genocide against Christian communities across northern Nigeria and the Middle Belt, declaring that the evidence of targeted killings, mass displacements, and destruction of settlements could no longer be ignored. I want to read what the president of CAN said. The president of CAN, Archbishop Daniel Oko, made the declaration at the opening ceremony of the fourth quarterly National Executive Council NEC meeting of the association in Jos, Plateau State yesterday. The event, hosted by the Plateau State government, brought together senior church leaders from across the federation. I want to quote him now. It will be a grave injustice to deny the painful reality of what has transpired. Lives have been brutally cut short, communities uprooted from their ancestral lands, families torn apart, churches razed, and hopes shattered. CAN has spoken clearly and courageously on the matter, and we stand by our position that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. Archbishop Daniel Oko, President, Christian Association of Nigeria.
Yes, who are being killed? Christians.
As a wrap-up.
Who are the people being killed? Christians. Targeted, you understand? And they say they are being taken away from their ancestral lands. Uprooted. Displaced. So replaced by who? You understand? These are the questions, we have to contextualize it. And I think the whole security thing is in a mix, you understand? There's a mix of it. And what I find quite cloudy is the failure of the leaders of faith you know, to identify this thing and deal with it. Even when Boko Haram started thriving, I didn't hear much from the leaders of faith in the north. I mean, if Gumi is one of the leaders of faith in the north, what is he saying? Even the Sultan, what is he saying? You understand? These things, when education and, you know, Western education, and let me tell you, apart from that's the local one, then there's the international dimension to it. Boko Haram is not it's not localized to Nigeria, Sahel, and the whole of coastal West Africa. They are there. They are in Chad, they are in Cameroon. These are countries that border us. I think, okay, I mean, the same challenge, Sahel, that's the Sahelian challenge. All of these things in the mix together. So if we push them from here, they go to Chad. After some time, they go back into Nigeria. And now the security challenge is that Nigeria has a joint task force operation with some of those countries. But their intelligence tells them that Nigeria's military is compromised. So if you are doing a joint operation with Nigeria's military, the entire operation
it's risky.
Is risky and will be compromised from the Nigerian end.
That makes it extremely complicated.
So people you are supposed to be working together, they don't want to work with you.
Okay.
So all of these complications, but the military must cleanse itself from
first
within.
From within. That's a very important
step. It is. If the military does not cleanse itself,
well, we'll just keep deceiving ourselves.
It is. And then the government give the military order, cleanse yourself from within. And then the financial conduit. When you get the conduit, you get the financiers. Okay. We have been told in the media space that as we speak in Nigeria, some governors sitting may have been, indicted.
Some are even on blacklist already.
And we're hearing two national leaders, a former chairman of a faction of a party, and a high government official are saying, you are the founder of Boko Haram. I'm not the founder. They are not even saying, you are a member, I'm a member. It's about who the founder is.
I don't want to mention the names.
Membership is not disputed, though. It is the one who founded it. I mean.
And the person is in power today.
That's very strange.
Okay, Comrade Adeja Shokwe, thank you very much for being a part of the program.
My pleasure riding with you.
We just hope that the respective quarters that need to do things, there's so much bloodshed.
There's so much bloodshed. You imagine the pain that will be in that town now.
I can imagine the pains and agony.
25 children.
Now,
fathers,
there are children gone. For
cousins, aunties, the entire place will be in pain.
And sadly, till now, nothing has been heard about that.
I am hopeful.
These are human beings.
I remain hopeful.
These are not goats.
I remain hopeful.
These are not fowls.
I want to remain hopeful.
Okay, let's be hopeful. Thank you very much once again, Comrade Adeja.
My pleasure riding with you.
Okay, that's the much we can take on the program today. We'll be back again tomorrow morning for a fresh edition of From the Dailies on your Super Solutions of 93.9 FM. My name is Ade Damala Lafenwa. Let's go out there and make it another winning Wednesday. Good morning once again.
The views and opinions expressed in this live broadcast are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the editorial policy of Solutions 93.9 FM.
They call me Omobaba number one. I choose to call myself Fine Boy. When women cry, then there is trouble.
Mrs. Bomba, you the bomb everywhere. Remember, nobody lives forever. This life not turn back turn, make it every day for the thief, one day for the owner. You sabi killing, you sabi rich. every day for the team.